Because guarantee if it wasn't a good film, you would have heard about it being talked about as a piece of garbage. We know that. We know that. We're DC fans. When critics don't like something, they make sure they tell everybody. What's going on, geeks and gamers? It's your Observant Lineman, Uche Waneri, and the Venice Film Festival is what was going on this weekend. A movie that we've been waiting for quite a while was screened for critics and pundits at the Venice Film Festival. The Joker, the DC Black Label film starring Joaquin Phoenix and directed by Todd Phillips. They got to show the movie for the first time this weekend, and of course, as those of us true DC fans know, they consider it a masterpiece. Now, I know that people on the MCU side, Jeremy, will be quick to point out that they have the highest grossing blockbuster of all time, in Endgame, yada, yada, yada. Nobody cares about all that. You're in a different class of special when they say masterpiece next to your name. Different class. So, in the news that the Joker is being critically hailed by countless critics who were in attendance during the screening, I think it's a good opportunity for us to kind of go through what we expected before the movie was screened, and now that it's been screened, you know, what is our takeaway from this, from the news, from the buzz that this masterpiece has created in the DC EU and the DC Black Label worlds? All right, so what did we expect before the Joker was screened at the Venice Film Festival? I mean, we'd heard, you know, news, we'd heard news clips, we'd seen articles of, you know, there being whispers of a critically acclaimed movie coming from this Joker film that a lot of people kind of asked, what was the purpose of this film? What was the point of making this film? Since we already had a Joker in Jared Leto that was in the Suicide Squad world, why would we make another Joker movie? Well, it's quite easy if you think about it. DC's decided to move away from the traditional interlaced extended universe that you see going on now with pretty much every genre of movie that there is. DC's going after things that they can take advantage of because of the volume of unique characters that are, you know, exclusive to their brand. So when you look at Joker and why they decided to develop this film, and by the way, Todd Phillips spent a year pressing DC and Warner Brothers to let him make this film. DC had a lot of reservations about having a Joker film being rated R when you do have different iterations of the Joker, some that are not as dark as, you know, this one that we're going to see in October. So that was a concern for DC and kind of keeping that balance in the brand of Joker. They don't want parents to think that because it's Joker and they see Joker in cartoons, that this is the kind of movie they can take their kids to. So parents, just know right there, this movie ain't the one. Don't take your kids in there because I don't want to hear them screaming and crying and yelling when they see Joker stabbing somebody through the back or shooting somebody in the face. No, I don't want to hear no kids in the theater screaming, asking, what's Joker doing? Joker's getting his Joker on. That's what he's doing. Now get your kid out of here. But I digress. So this movie took a year to get into production with Todd Phillips, and he was able to convince them to take a chance on it. I mean, what was there for Warner Brothers to lose in this situation? I mean, obviously, it's not going to be a movie that's going to cost you $150, $200 million like, you know, Wonder Woman 1984, you know, like Aquaman, like $100 million for Shazam wasn't even considered a lot. So in this situation, we're looking at an opportunity to take a chance with a director who has a unique vision, and he has probably, arguably the best actor, or amongst the three best actors in the movie industry as a whole, and Joaquin Phoenix is attached to this project, or wants to be attached to this project. So what's the downside of making a Joker film? There is no downside. You might lose at most $40 or $50 million. Where if you multiply that times 5, you have one Justice League. So, as we look at the situation with the Joker, from an economic standpoint, from a financial standpoint, it made sense to make this movie. Low risk, high reward. And DC nailed it. Right now, they have the most talked about movie in the movie industry right now. Joker is the most talked about film in the world. And that is not an understatement. I mean, the Venice Film Festival is a worldwide event. It is an international event. News from that event is spread through the AP Wire, spread through through CNN, through BBC, through Fox, through everything. So everybody's heard about what they're saying about this film. Because guarantee, if it wasn't a good film, you would have heard about it being talked about as a piece of garbage. We know that. We know that. We're DC fans. When critics don't like something, they make sure they tell everybody that our shit's garbage, even when it's not. So, moving forward, what do we expect? Well, I think we expected, like Todd Phillips talked about, that character study on a man who's pushed to the edge by society. And from everything that we've seen, that people have said about this movie who've had a chance to see it, is that it is a masterpiece. I think that they accomplished a lot that they set out to do with this film. You have the gritty backdrop of a 1970s New York, which is replaced with Gotham City. And you have a lot of that lawlessness, a lot of that shadiness in the city, things that we would expect to see in a decaying Gotham City. In a decaying New York of the 70s. I guess that's kind of where it got its nickname, Gotham City, right? So the setting is gritty. The setting is grounded. The setting is down to earth. And it appears that Arthur Fleck, who is our Joker in this film, I don't call him necessarily the Joker because there's not a single Joker. But in this universe, he is the Joker. So Arthur Fleck, he's trying to get his comedy career off the ground. He's living with his mom, who's mentally ill. He himself is having issues with mental illness because of the way he's being treated in society. Now, I know that this does kind of speak about similarities in what we have in our society today with people who are ignored because of their mental illness. They're kind of put off into the side, put off into a corner, and try to act like they're not there until they are. And in this movie, I think we get a perfect example of that because, in the trailer, Arthur Fleck says that he used to think that he used to question whether he actually existed, which that is a sentiment to the fact that he has been pushed aside from society almost to the point of complete ignoring that he is even a human being, is that he's even a subject worth stopping and talking to, worth stopping and greeting as you walk by them on the street. Joaquin Phoenix did a lot of method acting and a lot of studying into mental disorders, and specifically mental disorders that cause laughter. And if you saw my breakdown of the trailer, I mentioned that when he spoke to an international media outlet, he told them that he actually found disorders where people who were under extreme anxiety and stress would laugh uncontrollably. Wish I could do that. But I think it's really important to understand what a lot of the critics have come out of this movie saying. A lot of them have had the same sentiment that the movie does create a bit of empathy for Arthur Fleck. But as the movie continues and as he becomes Joker, that empathy disappears. Because now he's making decisions that are actually costing lives. And he's doing them willfully. These aren't things where he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. So we all know the Joker character. We know that he's going to devise a sick, demented plan to kill as many people as possible. And that side of the character in this film is not regarded as a hero, not regarded as even an anti-hero. So I think they struck a great balance with that. I think they were able to get a good balance on what it was they were trying to show with the characters on one end and their human side. And then as he evolves into this other beast, this other being, entity, now you have a Joker that you look and you see that villainy and you see that evil and it scares you. It kind of makes the hairs on the back of your neck rise, right? I think being able to strike this kind of balance is an absolute credit to Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix, because a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot of people know, but they were rewriting this movie as they were actually filming it. It was as they were going through the process, they would be in, I think it was Zazie Beetz, who was being interviewed, who said that they were, changing scenes completely while they were filming in the trailer, the night before they shoot. And I mean, for most of us, when when somebody says they're changing scripts mid-movie, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. We go fucking crazy, because that's never a good sign. I mean, look at Justice League. All in all, after hearing what critics are saying about the movie, I think that really the only takeaway is excitement. The takeaway is impatience, because now we still have to wait till October to see it. But it's full steam ahead at this point for the Joker film. And it's going on that award tour. You know that Joaquin Phoenix is going to be up for some major medal once this movie reaches the end of its run in theaters. So I'm more excited to see it now than I was when, I saw the final trailer just a couple days ago. So, I'm ready for this thing. Batman's my favorite character. So a Joker movie where it's just Joker and we get to kind of visit that side of the fence. I mean, this will likely be the best movie, or the most critically acclaimed movie of the year from the critics that matter. Also, I think a big question about what was going to happen in this movie had to deal with Thomas Wayne. I think there was a little bit of mystery around what his actual role would be like in the movie, and I think we're kind of getting to see that with a little bit more of the information that we received from the trailers, and also from some reviews that have given a little bit of scope to what that situation is. So obviously in this iteration of Joker, you don't have a situation where Thomas Wayne is necessarily the good guy. Thomas Wayne is a business mogul. Thomas Wayne is a huge financier. He's a medical doctor. He's all these things and has all this value within the city. And with that kind of power, of course, he's probably going to use that to leverage in some decisions that are made. And maybe that's what causes such a huge divide in this universe between the haves and the have-nots, because clearly that's going to play a role in a lot of the things that Joker does, being the catalyst for a movement that begins to kind of engulf the city. So Thomas Wayne is probably going to have some, commit some controversial actions himself that he has deemed necessary for the betterment of Gotham, because he does see Gotham as, a city that's fallen, a city that has lost its identity. And in his fight to kind of create and remold Gotham into a better city, he probably has to get his hands a little bit dirty. So I think that may be the central, there may be a central battle between the ideology of Joker and the ideology of, the I guess you could call it the institutions of Gotham City, which include Thomas Wayne. I think it's going to be hella entertaining to see that whole story arc play out between Joker and Thomas Wayne. And obviously we know there's going to be a situation with the talk show host that Robert De Niro is playing. This actually harps back a little bit to Martin Scorsese's The Kings of Comedy. That movie, I'm actually going to watch that movie tomorrow just to kind of get a little bit more understanding of how that inspired Joker, outside of the main points of the movie itself. So when the city's in that uproar and you see people wearing those Joker masks, I think that just speaks to the edge that the people were on before Arthur stepped into the picture. Now that he's in the picture, people have kind of rallied behind the fundamental message of what the Joker, of what sparked the Joker. Let's not say the Joker and what he believes, but what sparked Arthur Fleck to transition to the Joker. And that was, just the gap between those who have and those who don't, growing bigger and bigger with less and less attention being paid to those who have less. So these are all story arcs that we can relate to today, obviously, but the way it plays out in this movie obviously has more relevance to the world of Gotham. And who knows, maybe they drop a couple of Easter eggs that give us even more information about the potential of a sequel, because Todd Phillips has came out and said that if Joaquin Phoenix is interested in doing another one, then he is all about making a sequel. I'm happy about what's going on with the Joker right now. I'm happy about the buzz that it's building. I'm happy about the reviews that it's getting, because I think this just kind of goes to show, what a lot of people must have forgot about DC. DC knows how to make classic superhero movies. DC knows how to pick actors who deliver monumental performances. DC had its slip-ups with the situation and how they handled Zack Snyder. And hey, until my last day, I stand behind that if they allowed Zack Snyder to finish his vision, then the DCEU would have received a lot more praise and would have ended up in a lot better position than it is right now. But people must have forgot that Warner Brothers dropped the Dark Knight trilogy. They must have forgot that Warner Brothers dropped Batman 1989, Superman 2, Man of Steel. Don't forget, Man of Steel. So I'm happy that right now, for the moment, Joker has swallowed up all the coverage, all the media coverage for the movie industry, because it deserves it. Should be an amazing movie. I am going to watch it multiple times, because this is not a movie that you're going to be able to watch just once and figure out everything about it. And hey, if you're in the Atlanta area and you want to catch the movie with me, maybe I'll buy tickets for everybody who comes. So we'll talk about that over on my channel, The Observant Lineman. Hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to Geeks and Gamers. Subscribe to The Observant Lineman Uche Waneri. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from geeksandgamers.com, and if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers, please go to our website, visit our merchandise store. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, tank tops, and in the very near future, we're going to have many more products for you to choose from. So thank you for the support. We appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.